Podcast. We are your hosts, the Plastered Bastards. I'm Dave.
I'm Drew.
And I'm Bob.
And today we have our guest, Philly musician Jake Dillon. Welcome, Jake.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Hell yeah, what's
Hyped
up?
to be here.
Awesome. So we'll get right into it. You're a musician, man. Tell us about it. Tell us, if you were to explain your craft to someone who's never met you, like what you do, what would you say?
Well, I never thought I'd be a cover artist, but that's kind of what it's turned into the past year or so. That's a lot of fun. I like to make the covers my own. But also, I try to write music as much as possible, just chilling on my couch. Sometimes inspiration strikes, sometimes it doesn't. But most songs just start on an acoustic guitar, coming up with a simple melody, and then hopefully the lyrics just come to me. But that's usually the hardest part.
How would you... I don't like putting people in boxes, and I feel like genre matters less and less these days. But where do you think you would fall into?
I usually say ambient indie rock, kind of something like that. That's probably the best way I would say it.
Awesome. I'm a big fan of
I was going to say, you could probably get down with that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of ambiance and indie.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I know you and Bobby have done some stuff together, right? I don't know if it's on
Spotify.
Spotify.
Instagram videos. Not nothing like just Instagram videos playing around during COVID and stuff like that. We haven't really worked on a music project together. Not yet, at least.
Yeah, definitely need to kind of... We talked about that before, doing some gigs around, doing some cover stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
But some Metallica.
Oh, yeah, dude. Gotta love Metallica.
That was one of the first things I learned about Bobby, is that he's a huge Metallica fan.
But you're gigging, right? You're gigging all over the place. I see on social media. I was saying earlier before the pod, you look like you're playing more gigs than any local musician that I know, at least. How often are you doing them?
We're averaging 2 a weekend, something like that. Like I said, I give a lot of credit to my partner Jordan. He's booking gigs every day, it seems. So we're playing a lot of private parties and playing bars in Bucks County and stuff. But it's fun. The one weekend we had 4 in a row: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which was
that's
insane.
Work. That's work.
It's fun. It's fun, but yeah, it's your weekend's gone. I'm sure you guys can relate to that, though,
Oh yeah.
A little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
Many gone weekends in the studio. So is it? Do you solely write the music, or do you work with your you said his name's Dylan?
Dylan, he was actually one of my bandmates before, but my last name's Dylan. But
I thought you messed that up. I was
it's okay.
I was awkward.
No, it's all right. I do have a bandmate named Dylan. I probably said that. But Andrew's the studio guy where I recorded at Light and Sound. I'll give him a little plug real quick. Light and Sound. I recorded everything there. But I usually write 90% of the songs, and most of the time I'll be all right, Andrew, you just do whatever you want. I know it's probably going to be crazy because he does get weird with shit. One of the songs coming out, I let him just do whatever he wanted to do. It was an experimental track, and he literally had me record 16 notes on a guitar individually. And then because I couldn't play what he was trying, it was a sweep thing, you know what I mean, like sweep picking stuff, and he put them all together and it sounds insane. I don't know how he made it sound good, but he does shit like that on half my songs, where it's something that's not even possible to play really, but I don't care because most of the songs I'm playing live are going to be acoustic anyway, so I can't even try to really recreate it.
And magic happens in the studio. Sometimes you got to get weird and do creative shit like
exactly.
that. You'll get some nerds on the internet who are you're not even playing it. It's
I love the voice.
So
2022.
That's how
voice.
they sound. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's so what? Who cares? It's the studio is meant for you to create the most perfect version of your song. You know what I mean? And whatever it takes. If it takes playing single notes to make that happen, so be it.
You got to keep trying new stuff too. I mean, you can't just do the same thing that's already been done forever and ever and ever. It's always evolving, like any other art form. It's got to evolve. It's got to go somewhere new.
And gear's getting so good, you can just backtrack it all.
Yeah, exactly. That's something I've done, is played over backing tracks, which can be tough in its own way to get it all to blend well. But yeah, that's something I definitely want to do more. If I have solo gigs, is to use the backing tracks. But
yeah, we talked about doing that. I mean, it's a good idea. It's a great idea.
Something we're implementing with that rig over there for By the Moon. So when we start gigging,
Sick.
all of our other stuff, maybe some guitars will be backtracked.
Yeah, definitely.
We're going to have the in-ears running.
There's certain parts I can't play and sing. There's a lot of fast-paced vocals, and I'm
dude, I can relate all too well. my friend keeps wanting to play this one song I wrote recently, which I love the song, but to play the piano part and sing is nearly impossible. Like, but it's like you don't want to not record it that way just because of that. That's something I get torn with all the time. I'm sure you guys, like you said, there's stuff you can't play and sing, or that's very difficult to play and sing at the same time.
Yeah.
You want to sacrifice your musicality for practicality, basically, is what it comes down to.
And speaking of piano, because I was digging through your discography today, and I loved a lot of like the instrumental stuff that you put out.
Thanks, man.
Not a lot of people do that, and like people like me definitely enjoy that shit. So I very much appreciate that. How is piano your main instrument, or is guitar more of your main instrument? Because when I heard you play piano, like you could fucking play.
Or is it drums?
Yeah, you're clearly a multi-instrumentalist.
It might be drums. I don't know.
Drums are my first instrument. I get this question all the time. I enjoy playing guitar the most, but I know I don't know if you guys ever feel like this. Like, I feel like I am a fucking awful guitarist
Every day.
compared. But like,
I don't feel like it. I know it.
I can play stuff that sounds like music. You know what I mean? But like, you see someone. It's all so subjective, you know. But sorry, I kind of got off that. But I'd say piano is my best instrument, definitely, and I do enjoy it a lot. But guitar, I enjoy playing more. Especially acoustic. I just like how rhythmic it is. Like, you can just get a lot out of playing an acoustic and singing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like, you couldn't play the drums and sing by just doing that and it be like enjoyable to listen to. Piano you can, but you're not getting that intensity.
Guitars,
I feel like.
acoustic guitars are percussive.
Exactly.
I mean, even though like, I'm not gonna say something I just thought in my head because it'll probably sound really stupid. But yeah, acoustic guitar is more percussive.
You can kind of play the drum part or the implied drum part on the percussion part of the acoustic guitar.
Exactly.
It's just implied, basically.
That's why the acoustic is beautiful, because it's so versatile.
Exactly. And that's what's cool about piano, too, because you can kind of play, like, it's almost like two parts of the song, like melody, left hand with the bass and, like, guitar parts. You could write it there, and then you put it together. It's not, like, too different.
Exactly, yeah. You can get a really full sound out of a piano, too.
Something I really, like, I admire about you is, like, you said, basically, drums is your first instrument. A lot of drummers will not pick up a pitched instrument. They have no, like, desire or drive to do that. So that's already cool.
So what you're saying is they're tone deaf.
Well, I mean, tone ignorant.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll tell the story. Maybe I should have waited for you guys to ask me a little bit more about the history of how I started in music, but
We'll cut it back.
This one goes out to my ex-girlfriend, who's never going to listen to this, I guarantee it. But if you do, this one's for you. No, so I used to sing and play guitar for fun. Like, I didn't really see myself pursuing music and like writing songs as of like 3 years ago. So I kind of owe it to her in a way, because she would kind of tell me I sucked and like really bring me down.
That's deep.
You're like, fuck you, bitch, I'm doing this.
Yeah, I feel like she did feel in a way, because like other people would be like, like, you should just keep trying. Your voice sounds pretty good when you really are trying. And so I kind of like, but I also used her talking me down to somehow fuel me to write.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But the first song I ever wrote was about her. You know the song Perspective, probably, if you heard it.
Probably so.
You're like, I'm good at music because I'm a spiteful dick.
I enjoy
Exactly.
that one. I like that one a lot.
Thanks, man. But yeah, I'm not going to say your name, but
Is it in the song?
thanks for that. No, it's not. It's not. But yeah, that's a little story.
So you started with drums. When did you start with playing? Like, what age?
I started with drums, so this is funny too. I like sort of knew how to make beats. I would literally make beats on a table and shit with my brothers. But my church band, I was a church kid, yes.
Hell yeah.
But I was like the type of church kid. Oof. Sorry for if anyone listens to this later. I would literally go home after youth group and smoke weed with
He was sinning.
my brother. Not gonna lie. I was sinning, but
Devil's
yeah.
lettuce.
So I learned how to play drums playing with a worship band at church, because it was like I was forced to like play well because it was live, and I just had to like really kind of hone in on like being able to hold a rhythm, just messing around. Actually learn how to play the drums. So I started with like in a church band in high school.
That's a great start. I mean, like, look at Aaron Gillespie of Under
Dude,
Oath.
I love Under Oath so much.
That dude's the perfect, he was choir boy. That's why he could sing and play drums like that.
Exactly. I don't know if you heard anything of him recently, but he's definitely out. He's out of that. The whole Christian scene.
Oh yeah, Under Oath has changed a little bit, I think. And they're playing still. I think they're on tour right now.
Probably because they put out an album recently, which I really liked. I don't know if you listened to it.
I haven't heard it, honestly. I think I watched like a couple clips of their set, probably like on TikTok or Instagram or something. But he still sounds fucking amazing. His vocals are incredible.
Do you know the band he was in, the Almost?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna tour acoustically the Southern Weather this summer.
That's a great tune. Is that the name of the record too? Southern Weather?
Yes. Yeah.
The shuffles on that acoustic. That
percussive.
The percussive. It's so good.
It's so punchy. Like to do that with an acoustic guitar is really hard in production anyway, I feel like.
Yeah, and that's one of the like most memorable. Like when I hear if you say percussive acoustic, that's the first song I would definitely think of. Awesome.
So good.
So you moved in, what age was that? I'm sorry, I missed that.
I guess I was like 16 when they hit me up literally one day after school, and I went up there to the church and played, and that was kind of where I fell in love with the drums. I still do love playing, but I play just all my songs in the studio. That's it, pretty much. But yeah, so I was like 16, I guess, when I started. That's
awesome. And then you moved into guitar or piano first?
Piano, probably about six months to a year before guitar.
That's awesome.
I went to Bernathen College, if you guys know where that is.
Yep.
Really small school, and I was bored as shit. I love Bernathen, but there's like 300 students there, and I had nothing to do, and there was a piano in our dorm hall, so I just taught myself on that.
That's pretty
figured
good.
It out.
So you were learning 2 instruments at once.
Yeah.
And you were learning in like a public space, right?
Oh yeah, people definitely got sick of hearing me play the same shit over. You know how it is when
Get
you're
this
first
kid
learning.
out of here.
Yeah, I was playing like Christian songs. I was playing Christian songs, and it's so funny because if you listen to worship music, it's weird. Like you can hear the influence in my music because I was surrounded by that up until I was like 20. So, which a lot of contemporary Christian music is good. It sounds good, but the lyrics are a whole other thing. But
yeah, definitely, I would definitely don't lean into them for like lyricism. You know what I mean? But for sure,
he's like, I definitely don't take my inspiration from there.
Wrote contemporary worship songs.
I remember the commercials at night when I was a kid when it would have like the 25 album track by like 3 different like gospel bands and stuff like that. It would come on at like 3 a.m. and I remember hearing that all the time. I'm like, I like this, but not really.
And I promise what you were hearing then, the stuff I played is different. It's like, it sounds like Coldplay, but with Christian lyrics. Like chill Coldplay shit. And maybe like U2. People always say that. The Christian music that like I was surrounded by is like U2, pretty much.
I definitely like U2 more than I like Coldplay. I feel like I should like Coldplay, but every time I listen to Coldplay, I'm like, I don't know when the fuck I would put this on.
Right. Well, what do you think? What's your gripe with Coldplay?
I don't know what it is. Because the instrumentation's always phenomenal. Like the production value's always incredible, and like I like their singer. I think it's like the same gripe I have with the Beatles. I don't know, the culmination of everything
the Beatles.
Is just like it doesn't do it for me for whatever reason. Not that I think they're bad. Like I don't like hear Coldplay and go, oh, they suck. It's just like they don't, make
they don't do it for you. Yeah,
they don't
I know what you're saying. I'm the same way with the Beatles, where it's like,
thank you.
That we talked about that on the first episode we did. He opened the podcast up with, I forget how it started. It was a hot take. He's like, "This is the hot take. I don't like the Beatles," and I was like, "Oh fuck, you're catching heat for that one."
I probably like 10 Beatles songs. I would say. I don't know how many they have. What do you guys think? Like 50 or 60? Maybe
probably
more than that. More than that. I know they weren't around for like that long, but
I probably know 10.
Yeah,
I could probably name 3.
I can name one. I probably name.
You can name more than one.
Yeah,
I can name a set's worth.
Like I like.
Of course you can.
I like Helter Skelter because it's like harsh and punky, and I'm like, yeah, aggression. Like I love that. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
I like Eleanor Rigby.
I don't know that one.
Do you guys listen to Thrice?
Hell yeah,
dude.
Artist in the Ambulance.
Fucking love Thrice. That's one of my biggest influences. Believe it or not. But they cover Eleanor Rigby. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because I don't know what it is about that song. Like when I heard it, I was like in early high school, maybe like late middle school, and I was listening to like metal music, and I had no interest in anything like the Beatles, but I heard that song and something was like, I can vibe with this. It's like dark, something dark about it.
And that's the thing, for their time the Beatles were very versatile in their sound. And I think that was very like risky for them to do, but it worked somehow. Like when bands do that, that is like, you just know they're a good band when they can appeal to any audience pretty much. Pretty much anyone can say they like a Beatles song. Like even though you don't like like I don't like the Beatles as a, I'm not going to throw them on really, but
Same.
There's certain tracks you're like, oh, this hits.
I can more than tolerate like 10 of their songs for sure.
Yeah, I don't hate the Beatles, but some people are like obsessed with the Beatles, like they're the greatest band to ever live. I'm like, they're just the most famous band to ever live. Like,
Yeah.
that's how I end up
Or
feeling.
like Yesterday, I like that song a lot too.
Yeah, exactly. They
The
have so
Beatles
many
did it
good songs.
first, kind of like the whole rock sound, like so much spun off of them. That's why, like, I feel like they were just so influential.
Yeah,
You
for
can't
sure.
like discredit them.
No, you can't take nothing away from them. But like, there's still people today that will be like, the Rolling Stones suck because the Beatles are the greatest. You know what I mean?
Here's
like,
a hot take. I'm not a big fan of the Rolling Stones,
Neither.
personally.
Yeah,
I don't see the hype. It was probably like just the stoner music era.
Wait, are we just going to go around and say like a famous artist that we don't like that 99% of people like?
You
Not
got-
99.
You got one on your mind?
Yes, this is how we get clicks.
Dude, what's his name? Bruce Springsteen.
Mid.
Not a Bruce
Mid.
fan.
He's got some hits.
Mid.
Saying about me?
No, him. I'll agree with you. I couldn't name you a Bruce Springsteen song though. I'll tell you what.
Dude, people always want to hear Bruce Springsteen, and I'm like,
Dancing in the Dark.
I know.
Summer of '69.
I know.
Is that him? I know.
it sounds like him though.
I was gonna say revoke my musician card right now, but like
I know that song, how it goes. I don't know who it's by. Right in the summer
Born in the
of
USA.
69. I don't know who it's by.
Something Brian. Is
What-
that
what's
wrong?
Brian Adams,
Yeah.
probably. I covered that
probably
song
right.
on drums for a band, and I should know who it's by. I'm pretty sure it's Brian
I
Adams.
have it on my playlist.
It's
my
all
dad
right.
rock
I
playlist.
cover a lot of songs. I don't know who they're by. We play with Phase 3. Oh, God. They just give me a set list of these
Plug.
songs. I'm
It's
like,
this
oh,
is
God.
who's this by?
What is this fucking... trying to think of...
It's like-
American Girl. What is this?
I was gonna ask, how do y'all feel about Tom Petty?
I'm not like a big fan. My mom always told me I should play some Tom Petty, so like now we do, which is like.
Is that why I played that song?
No,
Oh.
like Frank always liked that song.
It's a
What do you
good-
play,
it
American
sounds
Girl
good.
or Free
Yeah,
Fallin'?
American.
Oh,
We
okay.
played Free Fallin' too, but
Yeah, that one didn't sound as good.
He's one of-
I sung it.
not a big fan. It's like good music for a bar to like play acoustic guitar and sing.
Yeah.
It's definitely good bar music.
Yep.
Here's a hot take for you. When I hear Tom Petty, I really think he has like an underlying emo sound. like hardcore. I'm like, I hear contemporary emo music in his work.
Now I'm going to go study Tom Petty.
They
tonight.
go check out Tom Petty and just think
We
emo.
should turn his songs emo then.
I'm down. I like Tom Petty.
Fucking light bulbs going off.
That's more old stoner music too. Tom Petty's just all about smoking.
So
I'm down.
Do you
There you go.
you look like you're about to say something? I don't want to cut you off.
Oh, I was gonna say that's something we started doing was we'll be like, all right, we're gonna do a song Green Day version. You guys get to pick, and usually people are a little like uncertain, so I'll get like my brother to pick. But that's what I was gonna say though. Just we'll do like different versions of. Not that that's that unique. I feel like other people do that, but it's fun to just do that with a song that people aren't gonna care that much if you butcher. But
I feel like I don't see that too often. One bar that I think of that does that is like, you ever go to Howl at the Moon? That's one of my favorite venues ever. I love watching
Never
it.
been.
It's got a cool little stage in there, doesn't it?
Yeah, they got like the dueling pianos and shit.
Yeah,
that's a fucking
I
cool
went there
venue.
for Halloween one year, and it was sick, dude. It's the lighting and like the little stage and the piano up there.
That's one of my favorite. It's like they're like, oh, let's go downtown to the bar. I'm like, let's go to Howl at the Moon because
Where is that?
That's right behind U Arts. You know where I think it's on Broad. I think it's literally on Broad
Okay.
Street behind City Hall, and they maybe a couple blocks down, and it's fucking fire. It is.
Sick.
They got always good performances on the weekend, and you can go. It's one of them things where you can drop something in the hat, and they'll play it. They'll play just about fucking anything. First time I went in there, I seen female front vocalist doing. It was ludicrous, but it was like it was amazing. It was a full band, Ludacris, and I forget what song they were doing. I think it was not Rollin'. What the fuck's that one song, Ludacris? I'll think of it later, and then I'll put it in the comments on the podcast. But
This is the worst music podcast ever.
I know. Man. I'm already a beer and a half deep, so I'm losing my memory. I'm getting old. It was one of the best performances, and I was like, I love this bar. I'll come back here anytime if there's shit like this, and there always is. You should try to play there. I'm sure you would enjoy
Howl
it.
at the Moon.
Howl at the Moon.
All right, word. Yeah, I want to play in Philly. We're mostly in Bucks County. It's like I always say, it's weird. I'm like this Northeast Philly kid. Like you guys are all are Northeast Philly kids, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
pretty much.
You know, like the scrappy. Yeah. All right. Well. Yeah. Nah. Yeah. Fuck Northeast Philly.
He's like, well,
It's a love-hate
never mind, fuck
relationship. But no, like we're playing for all these rich people out in Bucks County, and it's just like it's almost funny. It's not even uncomfortable. It's just funny because I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like we're playing these private parties, and I just don't feel like I should be.
But I feel like you're not worth it. Like,
I feel like I don't know. Like it's a weird feeling. We're playing at the Newtown Athletic Club. Do you guys know where that place is?
no,
I know Newtown is like a little bit up ways.
far, yeah.
Yeah. It's like 25 minutes up 95.
Yeah.
But
It's like they don't even say John up that far, do they?
no. But apparently it's like a bunch
Over
of.
there.
And we don't have to get political. It's just this is apparently what it is. A bunch of rich, like white, like really wealthy Trump supporters in like basically wearing nothing, like very minimal bathing suit,
Speedos.
covering at this athletic club up in Newtown, and we're gonna be playing there in the summer. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this. I'm like, I don't know
Wait till
how
you see the paycheck. Then you'll be like, I'm okay with it.
I'm coming back
Well,
next week.
unfortunately, it's not as much as I think you probably think, but it's going to be an interesting experience. But all that to say, it always feels weird. I'm like, I would like to be playing at like Grape Room and shit more.
Oh yeah,
for
for
like
sure,
people
dude.
our age
In the city, yeah.
We're like city kids, but it's. I mean, whatever. Playing live music is playing live music. But yeah, that was a little tangent. But that's just gonna be a funny experience. I'll have to like literally do a whole podcast just talking about what I see there.
You should just film it, dude. Just set some GoPros
Yeah.
up or something. Just
If we're even allowed, dude, who knows?
Put up a tip jar because it might be a little power trip for them. Like, here's some change, peasant. You know what I mean?
You would think it's not terrible, but I mean, yeah, you would think like the wealthier people are gonna tip more, but
Now I've worked in a industry where you rely on tips to like make some really good money, and you find out that
you were a stripper.
close. I was a mover.
Okay,
I sold my body either way. And I would move these houses where these people have like $6 million mansions, and they'd be like, here's $10. I'd move like a guy in a
Greedy bastards.
But you know why they have $6 million mansions, right? Because they only tip the mover $10.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a
Yo,
holes
you
in
can
their
pay my
shoes.
rent
don't
right
skip
now.
out on your Starbucks tomorrow, nerd. But yeah, that's 100% the truth. Awesome. You got any shows coming up?
Yeah, this weekend we're playing.
That's not private.
That's not private. Yeah, this weekend we're playing Triple Sun in Newtown. It's a little cocktail bar, but it's kind of like our like home. Not, I mean, it's like our backyard now, essentially. Jordan says that anyway. He lives up there, my duo mate. But yeah, we play there like once a month, and so we're playing there Friday night, and then Saturday night. I don't know when this is coming out, but so Friday what's today?
I don't know what day it is. I don't even know what
23rd. It is-
Friday the 26th, 27th. This Friday, we're playing there, and then Saturday we're playing at Artifact, which is in Hatboro. It's a little brewery. there.
When I hear Artifacts, I think of the smoke shop that's
Yeah.
been around for forever in
Oh,
Philly.
Cotman
Not the
Avenue.
smoke shop.
Yeah.
Not the smoke shop down Cap.
Not
down
not
Cotton.
playing the smoke shop.
But
Dude, you play ambient indie, you might fit in there. You know what I mean?
really? Damn, all right. I want to play there instead.
No, I'm
Go
willing
upload it
to,
in
I'm willing to
there.
bet this podcast will not come out before this weekend. So, do you have anything coming up in the midterm?
I believe Green Parrot. That's the one I would really want people to come to if you're going to come out, because Green Parrot is lit. It's a good time. We're
Is
playing
that Ben
there.
Salem,
It's in Newtown,
Newtown?
but we're playing there 9 to 12 on, I think, the Saturday after this one. But you can check my Instagram. Can I say my Instagram
Yeah,
name?
what's your Instagram? I was gonna say.
It's Jake Dillon ___.
Oh.
I just added underscores until I could actually get my name. Or the J Duo Music. That's the actual duo that we're playing there. But
Oh yes.
yeah, Green Parrot. I think it's June 4th, I want to say. I could be wrong. But it's the Saturday after this coming one. First Saturday in June, probably.
Cool.
But yeah.
And you guys kind of decide what you're gonna play based off of where you're playing, or do you always kind of do the same type of music? Or
Yeah, I'd say like we might play certain songs later than in the set than earlier, but we have like 75 songs now that we'll probably play 45 or 50 in a 3-hour set.
Right. It's a lot of fucking songs.
It's a lot of songs. I knew like 5 songs up until this point last year. I had to throw together that shit. But what we do is a lot of medleys. So you know how it is, like play a verse, chorus, then morph that into the next song. We do a lot of medleys, and so that helps to learn songs quicker because you don't have to play the whole thing.
So are you playing any of your own music live right now?
Yeah, I'd say we do about 3 to 5 originals per set, so not a ton, but
cool.
Enough to keep me sane.
And if you could play one song for us right now, what would it be?
I'll play my most upbeat song. It's called Pretend, which, funny enough, was released for my band, 89 Astro Van, but I still play it every set, pretty much, so.
Oh, yeah.
I like that band name. 89 Astro. That's a cool
Astro Van, yeah.
Shout out 89 Astro Van. Still got the love there, but, we all had to go our separate ways, as Journey said.
So what are we thinking about a little live performance?
Yeah, if you guys think we can pull it off, I'm down.
We can pull it off. That'd be a cool little.
Hell yeah, I think we can do it.
Hell yeah.
Cherry on the ice cream, if you will.
This is a first for the Plastered Bastards. I love this.
Oh shit!
Let's
First
do it.
live performance, no pressure.
Sir.
All right, this song's called Pretend, and I'm Jake Dillon. I reversed that. One step forward and 2 steps back again. Try to make it seem like I'm fine, but it's all pretend. Careful not to show 'em what's been going on inside my head. One step forward and 2 steps back again. Follow your dreams, they say. It's okay to take a risk every time and again. But turn back now and run the other way. One step forward and 2 steps back again. One step forward and 2 steps back again. Try to make it seem like I'm fine, but it's all pretend. Careful not to show 'em what's been going on inside my head. One step forward, 2 steps back again. One step forward and 2 steps back again. Try to make it seem like I'm fine, but it's all pretend. Careful not to show 'em what's been going on inside my head. One step forward, 2 steps back again.
That was
Hell
fucking
yeah, dog.
sick.
That was good. That was
Thank
super
you guys.
awesome.
Hopefully you're not too depressed. Right
Nah,
by
that
the
was
lyrics.
tight.
No, man, that's all the shit I like about music. That was,
Word.
I felt it. That was a great performance.
As I was gonna say about your music, it seems like super authentic. I can definitely feel it. I could tell you put like emotion into it. You know what I mean? I love it, dude.
Thank you.
That was great.
I really
and
like it.
A lot of times I feel like I write a song. It's not supposed to be about me, and then it'll be about me like a year or two later. Does that make sense?
For sure.
Where you see yourself?
I don't even know. It's like I won't initially. I'll be writing it kind of inspired by like people around me and stuff and conversations I hear or whatever, and then I'll be like, "Damn, this song came true about me." Like now.
It's always good to be
like
able to relate
trippy.
to your own
Irony.
music. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't like for By the Moon. Like, I didn't necessarily write everything from personal experience. Always, I always like to leave art to interpretation a little bit. But I agree. You know what I mean? I see myself in parts of it, even if it isn't exactly the way I wrote it. You know what I mean? But it's interesting that you write something and then a couple years later, you're like, "Holy shit, this is."
Yeah, and I can
I
totally
predict
relate.
the fucking future.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like the lyrics I write are typically pretty like anyone can relate to them. They're not super specific in what I'm talking about, but then it becomes like specific to a situation I'm in, which is like weird. I'm like at the time, do you ever feel like lyrics just any of you guys, you all written songs, like lyrics just come to you, like you don't even think about what you're trying to write about and the lyrics are just like they just come to you and you just write them.
Sometimes.
You're like, I don't know
Yeah,
why
sometimes.
this makes sense, but it just feels right in the moment. And that was kind of like pretend. That was kind of like that song.
And I probably feel that with your music because I feel like that happens to me when I'm writing like a song. It just feels like emotional or something. Like I feel an attachment to it, like right when I'm writing it.
You don't always have to write music about some experience that you're going through. It could just be something that you've seen or somebody around you is going through or whatever the case may be. That's what probably a lot of like non-musicians don't even know.
Yeah, like you're always like we're probably all always thinking like I should write a song about that.
Yeah.
Like some little thing happens, but when you can write a song about anything, that's when you know you're like in that creative zone, which is what I've been trying to get in. Like this winter, I could not think of anything to write about. I was so like caught for like 6 months. I feel like I was caught, just couldn't
Surprised
write.
me after this fucking record. After 2 years of like writing lyrics and shit like that and trying to make them like perfect, I'm so empty. My well has run dry.
You need inspiration, dude. You need like stuff to freshen your mind up. Like if I could travel around
Experience.
and move every 6 months to
Exactly.
somewhere new and like see something new out my window, like I feel like I'd get inspiration from that.
My life's right now for me, like my life's changing a lot. I've matured a lot since like we started By the Moon and like I've become more of an adult. I bought a house, you know, other things that are happening
Congrats,
in my life. Yeah, man, it was a crazy experience, but I want to write stuff that's more mature because we talked about it many times. But when we wrote that record, it was like, this is what 17-year-old me wanted to write. And I'm like, we got it out. And it's like, I'm like 17-year-old me would be so fucking proud of that record. And that means everything to me. But right now I'm like, where do I go from here? So
And how old are you?
28.
So when you're 38, we'll go, this is what 28-year-old me wanted to write about.
Exactly.
What's that going to be about?
God, I don't know. It's probably about talking about eventually having grandkids or something at that fucking point. I already got an 8-year-old.
Don't say that shit.
No, right? It'll fucking- Is there anything you do to try to get out of that writer's block?
Like Bobby was saying, like traveling. I had this idea recently. I talked to my studio guy about it. We're kind of like in the beginning phases of figuring out, no pun intended, phase 3. Shout
I was
out.
going to say, when you get to phase 3.
About what that's going to look like, but just literally going, he has this property up in like northern PA where we've gone camping a couple times, but we're just going to like get away from everything and just strip it down. He'll bring like a minimal recording setup and we'll just literally, I'm not going to like hold back. I'm going to just record everything, even if I feel like this sounds like garbage right
and
now.
then you bring it back to the studio and you refine everything.
Exactly.
But
Take
if
like
you have an
10% of what you
idea-
had or something.
Exactly.
Get out of your own way.
Yeah, I feel like you're saying, you just get stuck. Like I'm like, I gotta stop sitting on my couch and trying to write a song. I gotta go to the park. I gotta go here. I gotta like you gotta get out of your routine is really what it is. I feel like with songwriting.
Nature will do it for you if you're really blocked up.
Yeah.
Another thing I started trying was like naming the song first. Like I might have like a chord progression, but then I just like think like, all right, what can I make the song about?
Yeah,
or what does it sound like to me already? And and then I name it, and then lyrics come after that.
That's
It's
a
weird.
really good idea.
That's what we kind of
I've
did.
only
in
done
the
it
studio.
sometimes.
We would get a vibe and be like, all right, what's the word that comes to mind when you hear this this chord progression?
Well, so I'm actually curious. I don't know if we have the time for it, but just like real quick, what's like the 5 steps you would say to writing a song for you? Maybe it's more steps than that, but like if you could bring it down to 5 steps.
Chord progression, groove, lyrics, melody, harmony.
That was like flawless.
That was amazing. Yeah, mine. I would have to probably spend an hour thinking about how I do that. So I'm gonna take note. I'm gonna take a mental note of that.
Fuck, I wish it was
Screen
that.
cap this
I wish it was
portion.
that easy for me. Yeah.
That's the producer in me.
I've done it backwards before, where like "Blame You" was written with the melody first. I stole a vocal line
Crazy.
and turned it into a melody, and then
Dave brought this demo of a song, and he played it for us. And we titled it like the demo name because you do that, Weezer, like because it was sounded like a Weezer song. And I was just listening to the shit, like, and I was like, Dave, your vocals sound pretty good. But then I was like, what if we did this? And I played like Jack Johnson, and then it became a different song.
Yeah,
Like, completely.
it went from distorted guitars to acoustic, like percussion-y acoustic
And how
guitars.
did you feel about that?
Amazing, because
He was so excited.
Yeah,
We all were. We're like, that's it.
That's
That's the beauty of being in a band sometimes is when you can see how he heard that and was like, wait, no, let's like use what you had but make it like this a little bit, change it up a little bit, and you like agree on that.
No,
that's shows you guys have a good band like chemistry.
It's a beautiful dynamic because there's very few people I trust with my music. Like I have to be around you for a minute, and I need to know that you like care about what you're doing. And being around him and Steve, they're gonna bring out the best in me and like make sure that like I do all the right things, but they also push me to go past my limits because I definitely get self-conscious as like I don't know if you feel this as a vocalist, but like I get super self-conscious, especially with my own lyrics. Like you know what I mean? I'm like, that I get like my ego just like I shrivel, I like shrink. You know what I mean?
And the thing too is when you're more like when you start to be more confident about what you're writing, like Pretend 2 years ago I would have been very self-conscious to show you guys that, but I've just played it so many times now and people have related to it. I'm like, I don't give it, like even if you guys hate, like I was taking a risk, you guys could have been like, ooh, I wish he wouldn't have played that song. But it seemed hopefully that you guys genuinely like enjoyed the song.
I won't lie to you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Your
and
vocals
it
are
was good.
very like deep, and I don't mean the pitch. Like they just have like a deep feel to them
Yeah, yeah.
that like reminds me of like Ray Wilson or something. I love that type of stuff.
They're very dynamic. You know what I mean? Like you pushed when you needed to and then held back when you needed to. You know what I mean? It was nice.
It's been a process, and that's why like performing has helped with that. Like when there's 3 people in a fucking bar that we're playing, and I'm like, okay, I can try different shit. I wouldn't because it literally doesn't even matter.
Yep.
And I mean, it does, but like there's less room for people to criticize, I guess. And so that has definitely helped with that. Like just being free to be like out in the open, just belt it out or figure out where my range is. Like, I don't know. Vocals are definitely the toughest thing for me. Feeling like comfortable.
It's a very personal instrument. You know what I mean?
It is. But
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
No, it's been a pleasure having you, Jake. I'm glad you played a song on our podcast. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, thanks
very
for
much
listening.
enjoyed
So
it.
if people want to check you out, where can they hear your music?
Spotify's the main place. I got like half of my music on Apple Music. It's a whole thing. I don't know why some of it didn't post. I got to figure that out.
Damn
but
Apple.
I'm a procrastinator. YouTube, I have some music videos out. Drum videos, a whole bunch
How do they
of shit.
find the music videos?
Jake Dillon Music on YouTube.
Perfect.
Jake Dillon Music. And then on Instagram, I'm Jake Dillon ___. Maybe I already said that. Spotify, Jake Dillon. And then my cover band is the J Duo. So you can see us in mostly like Bucks County.
Spell Dylan for him too. We're gonna plug it on there, but just in case.
Dillon. It's not Dylan. It's not Dillon either, which I get that all the time. Dillion. But yeah, Dylan, like, I feel like there was a football player with the last name Dylan. Corey Dillon. Like that.
There you go for all our sports fans out there.
He was on the Patriots.
Before we wrap up, Jake, if you had to pick 3 to 5 artists or bands that were influential to the way you play or perform your music, who would they be?
Definitely Thrice is the first one that comes to mind. I love Dustin Kensrue's voice. I try to sing not like him, but just like I'm inspired by the way he uses his voice. So definitely Thrice. Reliant K is another band I grew up listening to.
nice.
That's a good
Reliant
choice.
K. Weirdly, Sigur Rós, if you guys know who they are. They're a like post-rock band from Iceland. And then I love Metallica, not gonna lie.
Fuck yeah.
And Pink Floyd for like classical artists. Pink Floyd, big inspiration. If you listen to my music, you'll probably get some of that. Sorry, this is like 6, but Coldplay too.
That's a good fucking
Hey,
mix,
man,
man.
the more the merrier.
There's something to be said for knowing what you like.
Thanks.
Fucking awesome. Jake, thank you for coming by.
Thanks for having us. Or having me, guys. Thanks.
Is there somebody else
Thanks
up
for
there?
having us.
That's his split personality.
He's hiding in the garage.
He's like, I am the duo.
I'm Jake and Dylan.
That's pretty funny. I've only had 2 beers, guys, I promise.
This has been the Cellarway Productions Podcast. We are your hosts, the Plastered Bastards. Our guest, Jake Dillon. Thank you again so much. I'll thank you 30
Thank
more
you.
times.
Oh, yeah, man.
Been great.
Come and check us out again.